Alrighty, well we're back again, and well my demons demand that I mod something, and I just haven't done enough modding lately, so I'm gonna dive back into the wonderful world of de-soldering. So here we've got the Piranha Mods EC2. This was the first Piranha Mods mouse that I built. I like the idea of the ergo shape, but I just found that in practice the symmetrical shape just worked better for me and my brain when it came to actually like clicking heads. So this guy kind of got relegated to secondary duty, but it's back in my hands now, and I want to finish modding it. So I did the TTC Gold Encoder on this one, and obviously it's got the Kailh reds, which you can kind of see poking through the shell there. Kailh reds on the side buttons. This guy uses a different type of side button, and it still has the stock encoder. So my plan is TTC Gold Encoder, and then new Kailh side switches. And these side switches are weighted very similarly to the Kailh reds that are in there, so I'm hoping the side buttons get more of a similar feel to what's in there now. I just want to point out how absolutely minuscule these guys are in comparison. This is a normal mouse switch, and these are the side button switches. Just look at that guy, a tiny boy. So should be fun, should be interesting. Let's get into it. So we're just gonna pop the feet off, same story as normal. I do have some additional adhesive pads should I need them, but like I said, generally, this is kind of not working. There we go. There we go. Generally, so long as you don't touch the adhesive pad, it's pretty fine just to be off. There we go. They're pretty fine to reuse. Again, all the force you're putting on it is down against the adhesive, so it's a little less than fresh. It's generally okay. Because again, you're sort of pressing down. Is that a fly? Asshole, come back. I'm gonna kill you. All right, that little shit comes back, we're killing it. So yeah, we'll just kind of pop off these pads. You see? Pointing at, murder it. If you see it, murder it. All right, let's see. There we go. And no one. So this guy, just because the size uses 5 of these versus the S2, which only uses 4. See? 4. Fascinating, I know. Gotta train my brain to keep things in frame. Yeah, some of these might actually need some new pads. That one looks like it's got some crumbs in it. Probably courtesy of the person I lent this to. Let's see. There we go, that should be the last pad. I really do love these ceramic skates. On a nice mouse pad, they're something else. Grab our next to tiny. No, I need a small one. What do we got? Hey, go with you. All right, now this one, I'm tempted to add some extra screws to the side, just because the base plate kind of sticks out a little beyond the shell part that your hand holds, but we'll see. Realistically, when it's on the mouse, like when your hands are on the mouse, normally it's not something you notice. It's really only when you pick it up off the pad. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll do anything with that or not. I also don't want to risk breaking it, because I do really like this device. So we're just going to pull out these bottom feet, these bottom screws rather. These guys are all identical, so we can just kind of pop them in together. It comes apart a little easier than the S2 does, because the side buttons are on their own kind of separate board. So we kind of shift it out past. There we go. The whole thing kind of pops out. Now again, we've got these tiny little battery cables that I'm always just terrified of breaking. Then we got a little ribbon cable down here for the side buttons. So first things first, I'm gonna deal with desoldering the this guy. Scroll wheel encoder first. Let's see if this guy one of the ones that flip up. Yeah, there we go. So flip that up to pull the ribbon cable apart. And notice this one has that center button as well. It's not in use, but we don't really care. And the one thing I wish that they, Piranha Mods, or PMM as they're known now, one thing I wish that they made was I wish that they had an aftermarket scroll wheel for this guy as well. It'd be very cool just to have the same kind of minimalist style as the other one. Unfortunately, no such luck. He's not designed one as of yet. Okay, I gotta find a better way. This mic is, no matter where I put this mic, it's in the way. Let's try this. This actually might help me. Of course, it's gonna slowly rise until it just literally just dives into my mouth. Thank you for that, Mike. That's great. Can you calm yourself? There you go. Out. Yeah, we're out. And then it just kind of lifts right off this plastic housing. So set that aside. There we go. Yeah, there's the stock scroll wheel for this guy. Big tire looking guy. So yeah, so this is the guy we're gonna be working on first. It's interesting, the center buttons on these are always Kailh's, but the actual primary clicks are Omron's. So if I should put the Kailh's over here and then you wouldn't have as much issue. Whatever. Oh, the other thing I want to do is I want to tune the click as well on these while I got this all apart. Make it match this guy a little more. Mike, can you? Like for real though, calm yourself. Okay, something like that. All right, so now my absolute favorite part that I love, desoldering. So this guy's gonna make a reappearance. Let's see, things I wanna, so that side, there's nothing going on there. There's nothing going on there. So I think I could just go like this, and then like this, right? There we go. Yep, clear of anything that I could damage, so we're good there. Just gonna kind of offset this a touch. There we go, something I like that. All right. Solder. This guy heating up. There we go. And then we need our old friend solder wick. Flux paste. I believe this is the one I opened previously. Nope. This is this one. It is. Oh, I need, bear with me, gotta grab one last tool from the closet. Wouldn't be a FullHavoc build if I hadn't forgotten something in the closet, right? Let's see, I'm just gonna stick the mic in my chest and look down. All right, how do I want to go about this? Start with the big guys. All right, 400 degrees. Let's see what we can do. See, hopefully this isn't as sad as the other mouse. There we go, we're picking some of it up. It's very hot, so I'm gonna pull away for a second. As quickly as it heats up, it cools down, which is good. Otherwise, you burn the crap out of your fingers. Come at this from a slightly different direction this time. for the wick. That part's hot. Let's see. I don't think we picked up any with that pass. Looks like it. All right. Let's try again. Tasty. No, those fumes are not terribly good for you. Let's see. It's hard to tell in this light if that picked up anything. Still waiting for that hole to get exposed. Not quite there yet. Go for a longer piece here. Come back, I need you. Your job is most certainly not over. Figuring out how to work around the mic is really the hardest part here. Well, if the mic audio turns out like shit, I'll just use the camera audio again. Just kind of get in there. Go into the frame again. Just trying to find the right position for the iron here. Trying to kind of press the wick. Press it in there so we can pick up some stuff. It doesn't really look like it's doing. All right. I'd go for a different spot here. Try the other side. There we go, I can see that one picking up some. Still see it moving, so I'm gonna hold it there for a little longer. Okay, that's not awful. That's still pretty toasty though. Keep working our way across this guy. Trying to be patient, as frustrating as the process as this can be. I really just need to, I wonder if I just need to like put this guy way over here. Just kind of yell into it. So I gotta move a little bit closer. Maybe I'll just turn up the gain a little bit on the recording. We'll see. We'll see how this turns out. It could be awful garbage. We'll see. I need to be a little closer for these smaller pins. It's so hard to see as it is. Come on. I get like the memory of solder from that one. Just clipping off some excess there. I'll try again. A little more on there again, and another try. Really want to see it suck out enough that the entire pinhole is visible. Oh, there we go. That looks like it's doing good. Just gonna wait until I stop seeing movement. Looks like I did it. There, so that's perfect, just like that. So I don't know if it's gonna come through in the video, but you can just see kind of the dark of the hole open there, so that's good. Perfect. Keep working our way across here. Do the same thing, kind of get in a position where it's right up against it. Heat up the entire copper wick and then watch it to see it change color. It is doing so, but kind of slowly. Oh, it's toasty. Okay, that actually picked up a reasonable amount. That picked up more than I thought. Keep going at it. Ooh, come back. Your job's not done at all. Let's take a close look. We still got a ways to go on that one. All right, so again, same process. I'm trying to like jam the wick right up against it. So so it kind of breaks apart and hopefully comes into contact with more of the solder. The wick is like a weave of copper, essentially. That looks good. Nice, okay, and I can see through now, perfect. All right, that's got a little too short for finger comfort, so go back to this guy. Pick up some, uh-oh. I already got it, sorry. Ooh. I accidentally grabbed the bottom. Whoops. Okay, you can go back around there then. The other side. So over here. Come here. There we go. Put another one of these in here. I do. Okay, phew. To say. I don't know. I don't think I'd use that much, but desoldering is such a nightmare that I'd be surprised if I did. All right, so last of the data pins, and then we've just got the two kind of holding everything in place pins. Waiting for the discoloration. Oh, it's so toasty, it hurts. Not quite there yet. My steps kind of suck. Get all the way through that last one. And there's still plenty of flux on there, so we're gonna keep going. That's not great. Let me try from the other side. Just gonna risk getting my head into the camera a little bit for this one. I cannot understate how small these pins are. Oh, there we go. Oh, that worked like a charm. There we go, okay. Good there. Okay, so that's the data pins sorted. Good. That is progress. I just need to get the rest of these kind of like outer. So when I talk about the data pins, I'm talking about the three centermost pins here. So those three, those would actually pass the information. These outer two are mostly just there for keeping everything sturdy. So now I just need to get those out of the way, which I'm thinking. Sorry, I just gotta take a closer look at it. Thinking if I could like get the wick in like that. I'll shove it in there. Ooh. There you go, see. So that was fairly shallow because I moved away, but you can see how quickly 400 degrees Celsius will burn the shit out of you. So definitely want to be cautious. As you can see, I'm incredibly cautious, which is why I burnt myself already. Come on, start picking it up. Give me some movement. Oh, it's technically movement. Try the other side, see if I have any luck. See if that works. I'm just trying to go from the outside where you can still see like solder sticking out. Just waiting to see the solder start moving. Not seeing any discoloration to make me think that it's actually doing anything though. Just pull it away. Yep, that looks like it did absolutely nothing. It's a struggle. So hot, so fast. Oh, I've seen it move from the other side. Kind of. Ooh, oh, that's so hot. Okay, yeah, we picked up a good amount there. Not quite enough, I don't think. I wonder if I can like, oh no, that's good, because that's gonna be hot as all heck. What am I thinking? Tweezers, that's what I need, any tweezers. Be right back. Also need water from the sponge. Okay, so I'm thinking, so I can heat up one side and pull it away, and then maybe we'll be good. Let's start with the inside, actually. This is the part where things become very difficult to manipulate and film. My eyes are not that great. And unfortunately, having the thing way over there is not doing me any favors. Basically trying to get the solder out of the center here. Apologize if I'm getting my head in the camera. It is genuinely very hard to look at this. Doesn't look like he picked up anything. Come on, just pull that solder out. This is where things get a little difficult. Okay, I do think the side buttons are going to be a little easier, so that's getting kind of short. There we go, just less than that one. You got a whole nother one. Gonna need it. Oh boy. All right. Just gonna try to kind of use the tip of the soldering iron to kind of press in there. See if I can't get to that solder that's just sitting inside there. Pull something. I really didn't pick up anything, did it? Oh, okay, there we go. That looks promising. That looks very promising. Oh, and I see a hole. Perfect. Okay, so that got that one. Oh, this really is just an exercise in patience sometimes. Jeez, and I hate it. I'm not a patient person. So we're gonna try to do the same thing here. And I apologize again, I know this probably isn't the greatest angle for the video, but unfortunately I just kind of got to work with what I got to work with. hate holding it on there for so long, but I think because it's such a larger piece of metal, I think it just takes a little bit more to heat up and get that solder to flow. I want you to be in there. All right, and that seems like it's in a good position. Let's see. Do we get any signs of flow? Come on, buddy. I want to have to cut this one out like I did the last one. That was terrible. A little bit of backstory on this mouse. It was the first mouse that I bought, and I bought it as a test because I had heard about PMM, and I wanted to try one of them very badly, but I didn't want to spend the full price not really knowing what the quality was going to be like. And I had a 603 laying around, so I decided to buy a shell for a 603 and then try one of the oh, there we go. I see movement. Ah, we did it. Okay, cool. Very cool. So this guy should be whatever. So I think, ooh, that guy's very toasty. All right, we're gonna have to let this sit for a minute. That guy's very, very toasty. So yeah, I bought this as sort of like, oh, well, I'm going to try them and see what they're like, see if they're any good. And the reason I went with the thing that I already had was that the mouse just wasn't seeing much use anyway. So I was like, all right, well, at least then it'll kind of breathe new life into a mouse that's not being used. Obviously, I ended up really liking it. The build quality, like the quality of the paint and like the prints themselves are just phenomenal. They're such nice things to have. So yeah, and at that point, I had already had the ponage and kind of knew that I liked the ponage shapes. That kind of helped inform me on what I wanted to get for like my official like purchase, which ended up being the S2 that you've seen me do some mods on. And when I did that S2, since I didn't already have a 305 board, I did buy the board as well from PMM. I'm gonna heat this guy up and try to push him inward a little bit, so I can detach him from the side, because it looks like he's still, there we go, perfect. Just going to, same thing, just kind of pushing the tabs in. Love how that feels. Oh, come on. Separate, come on. There we go, perfect, okay. Yeah, that guy's gonna be 100 billion degrees. Do is just bend these back out now that they're detached. There we go. Out we go. Out we go. And it should almost just pop out on its own. Just make sure is that guy still properly detained. Looks like it is. Just wiggle the data ones and make sure those are disconnected. Oh, come on, this board is so thin, I'm afraid I'm gonna snap it. There we go, okay. So we are loose. There we go, and we're out. I don't see any signs of pads. So what can happen every once in a while is there can be a little bit of solder touching one of the pads, and then when you pull it out, it can pull the pad with it. But there we go, there's the stock TTC white encoder out. I'm just gonna go grab some paper towels because my hands are covered in flux. I'll be right back. Alrighty. So I'll give this guy a full clean before I reinstall him. I'm just gonna brush off all the excess because boy, do we use a lot of flux. Comes off nice with the alcohol though, but for now we'll just kind of do what we can. And got our new TTC Gold Encoder, which we pretty much just insert the correct direction. So make sure these are bent. Looks like this guy's bent in a little bit. There we go. All right. So it should pretty much just. There we go. Oh, that's so nice and easy. I love it. Love it, I love it, I love it. Okay. So here's our new gold situated in place, which means we just gotta finish the soldering. All right, again, these are kind of tiny, so I'm gonna have to lean in a bit here. I apologize. I have no idea if the mic's gonna pick up much or any of this, but I apologize. I gotta bring this a little bit closer to me. What I'm doing is I'm trying to get the soldering iron up against the pad and the pin on the other side. And then I just kind of, once they both heat up, I sort of just press the solder up against it. And it should basically just go right up, do its own thing. And you can see it kind of settle into the hole. I'm just gonna revisit this guy because it looks a little sparse. A little more, there we go. All right, we'll do the same for the outside ones, just as a sort of way to hold it in place. That's good. It uses a lot more for those outside ones. Oh, this is such a weird angle. All right, come on. go, that looks better. One more over here. And this freaking thing keeps moving when I press against it. All right, that looks good. Okay, there's our encoder, all set and sorted. Ah yes, ah yes. Ah, what an improvement. God, I love doing stuff like this. It's so rewarding at the end when you have the thing and you like put it all together and you're like, yes, this is an improvement, because you can just tell right away the difference between the stock one and how this one feels. Ah, fantastic. I love those really tangible, like, there it is. There's the improvement. You can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it. All right, on to the next one, which is the side buttons. Now, it has been a minute since I've done anything with the side buttons. Let me see, I think I gotta actually take the primary buttons out first. It's just these 3 screws here. I'm also going to tune the left and right mouse click, because I'm hoping this is the last time that I really have to take this guy apart. And actually, you can tell this is one of the first things I ever soldered, because, oh boy, look at those. Those are rough. I'm not going to touch them though, because I know they work, and I'm not entirely convinced that that guy here isn't really fucked. So I'm just going to let what works work. Maybe someday I'll see if I can get a replacement of this kind of a full assembly here with all the switches. I'm sure there's probably some floating around eBay at this point. Someone's salvaged something. Alright, so there's our main heavy guy. This guy should basically drop out. Alright, you can go over there. So yeah, so these are these little Huano blue guys. And boy, are we ever gonna try to desolder that tiny little thing. Let's get this out of the way. Oh man, that's just so little space to work with, isn't it? Yeah, these are really quite rough. Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one right there, pretty sure that one is broken. And I'm pretty sure the only reason it doesn't matter is because switches don't use that pin. I'm not sure what it's for, but let me see if I can. Yeah, see, even if I remelt the solder, it's not trying to flow into the joint at all. Oh, that's rough. Okay, we're just leaving it. We're leaving it. All right, what's the process here? Same as it ever was. All right, so for these guys, I think what I'm gonna do, clip right down the center there. Okay, let's see how this goes. Might have to hit up eBay after this if I screw something up. Really hoping that since these are so much smaller, there's just a lot less solder there to deal with. Okay, there we go. Seeing stuff flow. Okay, I think. Oh, come back. Okay, I think I saw movement there. Let's see if it was enough. Maybe you got these nice little outlines, so I'll know when I go to put the other ones in if they're aligned or not. You got anything with that? Come from the other side here. And again, I apologize. It's not super omega in frame. It's just very difficult to work on something so small, so far away from your head. Actually, I'm not sure how attached that really is at this point. There's one side broken loose. What I'm trying to do is very carefully move them because again, I don't want to tear off the solder pads on the actual PCB. I'm not really applying any force to move them. I'm sort of just holding it in place and then waiting for when it kind of moves on its own. Get a little bit of plastic on there. Because tiny things. There. Again, I apologize if this is barely display. You're probably just looking at the back of my head, but again, God, these tiny things are really difficult to get on film. There we go. So one, out, out. Whew. All right. think. Go back to this method because I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Headbutting the mic. Yeah, I don't know how much good this mic is actually doing right now. Fucking thing. Stop rising. Stop it. Stop. No, I'm just gonna keep doing it to spite you. That seemed mildly successful. Just burnt the absolute shit on myself. Oh, God, it's charred and everything. Oh, it's gonna hurt like the dickens in about 5 minutes. Oh, all right. Pay attention to where your fingers are. It's so difficult to work on these tiny guys. I've never actually burnt myself that bad before. It's a fun new experience. It smells. Smells like char. Is that actually what I'm smelling? That's weird. That's weird. Come on, run. I don't think that's doing anything really. Oh, I think tweaks with it, I guess. head looks like it's separated. Difficult. Damn it, I think we tore up the pad. Shit. Okay, well, I might be able to salvage it. Let's see. Okay, well, here's where things get interesting. I think we're just gonna go with the watts and hope it hits method. There's one. Right now I'm just kind of using the clamp. Mike, drive me crazy. And stop moving. Not that hard, really. to not do something? All right. Okay. Stuff is in there. Now, it's time to test. See if we broke anything along the way. Alright, the clicks feel fine, but that's not really what I'm concerned about here. Oh no. Did we break any of this? Trying to figure out the way in which this ribbon, the direction that this ribbon's supposed to face. Okay, so you go there. You go there. Power. Okay, that should be enough to test with. So they're currently bound to back and forward. So if I open up this, we get to there. Okay, so back works, forward works. Okay, so those two buttons work. Let's see. Right click should still work, which it does. And then left click. Oh my god, okay. Looks like we're all good. Nothing was broken as a result of our unprofessional jank-ass methods of doing things. Although now Key and Peele is playing in the background and we're gonna turn that off because it's not quite the background noise we're looking for right now. Okay. Just gonna disconnect the power. Again, the power, that's the one thing that I'm really just don't want to break. Okay, get this guy back situated. So there we go. At this point, we're largely successful. Let's get all the screws back in for this guy. Again, I apologize for doing this off screen. Unfortunately, stuff is tiny and hard to work on screen. All right, let's get some of this stuff out of the way now. I can unplug you. I think I've got enough burns for one day. All right, my mic has risen up again because it hates me. Simply, despite my best efforts, I simply cannot tighten this any more than I have. So it rises just to irritate me at this point. Nah, come on, fucking thing. Look at this. Look at how annoying this shit is. Stop. Okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna assume that the audio from that's gonna suck, and I'm not gonna use it anyway. So this guy has holes that pass through to the mouse button, so you can adjust them. This one, unfortunately, is just a screw, which means you have to take the mouse apart in order to modify it. I'd rather have the adjustment than not have the adjustment, but it is unfortunately a little irritating to get to. Okay, so we're gonna unplug you. So, get rid of this situated here again. See, look at how whisper thin these power cables are. Ugh, no trust. Do not trust that at all. I'll let this center boy in. Alright, we're gonna try and kind of fail a little bit here. Come on. Why not? Ooh, oh yeah, that's much better. Much stiffer click, which is what I was hoping for. Because these buttons are huge, so it's pretty easy to accidentally click them, but it's much stronger force required now to do that. Much prefer. Much prefer. All right, cool. So that's that sorted. Let's get these main buttons in place and test their clearance. Most likely I over-tighten them because I always start by over-tightening for some reason. That's just what ends up happening. Actually, that feels pretty good. That feels. God, that feels almost perfect. I'm gonna leave it just like that. Oh, what a success! All right, so let's see. Need to put my switch screws back in place. Use this guy. Yep, single. Right is single, left is double. I'll just do another test before I cinch it all up, just make sure that the click characteristics aren't changed by the screws. But I mean, they have these, there's brackets. So you can see there's these brackets here that press up against the bottom of the actual assembly. So it shouldn't have an effect because they're already kind of in place. Maybe I'll tighten a touch tighter still. Really like this mouse to be just perfect and done so I don't have to reopen it. I'm gonna be modding stuff. I'd like to mod stuff in variety, not in repeated mods of the same thing. So we'll just go a touch. Touch. Okay, I think she's right, this one's right. Okay. It's one of those things, test it, make sure you're good before you pack everything up. Not gonna lie, that whole process it's stressful in a weird way because like, you know it's just a part and you can replace it if you need to, but you really don't want to. Yeah, I'm leave it like that. It's pretty close to the sensitivity of this guy, but not quite as touchy. I think we're good with that. Okay. right, I need to put all these screws back in for the scroll. So the scroll module is its own piece, as you saw. The cool thing about that design is that it gives it a nice amount of reinforcement. Oh, there we go. Snap in a little bit. It gives the scroll wheel some nice rigidity because it's got all this plastic around it. Although I do wonder how much weight that's adding. Presumably not that much. I mean, the whole mouse, this whole mouse is only like, what, 2.5, 3 grams heavier than the S2. So not really enough to notice given it is a, you know, physically larger mouse because they are ergonomic design, so. Mostly just excited to have that scroll wheel sorted. The side buttons are a bonus for sure. Definitely cool to mod those. But I think the scroll wheel is where it's, yeah. I think it's really where it's gonna be the real difference maker. So I'm gonna start with the ribbon. Because I actually trust the ribbon not to rip more than I trust that battery cable not to break. Get everything settled in place. All right, then test it. Left click works, right click works, back works, forward works. Perfect. Oh, do it. Test scrolling. Scroll through the menu. Middle click's not going to do anything here, but that's fine. Cool. I think we are set and sorted. So it looks like I'm taking a pretty aggressive grip when I tighten these, but actually I find that I have finer control when I do just these 2 fingers like this. I want it to be tight, but not like, not torquing in foot-pounds here. Okay. So I still gotta put the skates back on, but I am pleased with how that feels. Very pleased with the side buttons. The side buttons feel fantastic by comparison. All right, that's that. I'm gonna clean off the skates because they've got some, like I said, looks like they got some leftover snacks, but not exactly interesting material, so I think I'll leave it off at this. If you're at all interested in any of the PMM mice that this guy's designed, they're all fantastic from what I've heard. So they use a lot of tech internals, so they're nice and reliable, good fast mice. I highly recommend. If anything that you saw here was interesting, definitely recommend that you take a look at his stuff. I'll link him obviously in the description. Check him out. He makes some really cool designs, and yeah, seems like a cool dude. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're gonna wrap it up. You know, if you enjoyed your time here, like, comment, subscribe. All this stuff is super helpful for growing channel. Really appreciate you taking the time to check out this video, and hopefully it doesn't come out like crap because the microphone is moving and because they haven't used this camera setup a lot. So we'll see. But in any case, there you go. Chronomod's EC2 now fully modded with TTC Gold, Kailh Red left and right, and Kailh, I don't remember what the side buttons are. I'll have to look those up, put those in the description. Kailh side buttons as well, not micro, it's like micro mini switches or something. Kailh sides to match the kind of same set of mods except for with GM4.0's Kailh Reds on the S2. So yeah, fantastic mics, love these both. Really excited to have this guy back as a daily driver. I'm still loving this guy in game, and yeah, highly recommend you check them out if you're at all interested in mice, or if you just kind of want something to play around with, like what I have here, and burn the crap out of yourself. In any case, yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a lovely evening.